Hello guys, so in this session we are going to learn about execution context in JavaScript. So it's a very fundamental concept of running JavaScript. So whenever your code runs in JavaScript, behind the scenes, what are the things that are being coming over, and how the contexts are created and how those contexts are executed. So in the deeper detail, so I have broken down this session in two steps. So the first one is execution context in JavaScript. So in this session we are going to learn about the context details, how we acknowledge and taking a look on context being created by JavaScript and executing those. So in another session, we will be going to taking a look on function invocation and execution stacks. So multiple execution contexts are being created in the stack. So that's kind of another session. So yep, let's moving ahead. So execution context, first of all, the term big word, like what's the execution context? So execution context is like it's contain all other things you didn't write in JavaScript while writing your code, behind the scenes, how your contexts are being created and other things which you you didn't develop, but those are being provided by JavaScript engine. So JavaScript engine is running your code that's actually been doing this for you. So execution context, in this execution context, there are two type of execution context. One is the global execution context, and the second one is the execution context for functions or methods, right? So in the first, we will be taking a look on this global execution context. So what is the global execution context? Basically, global execution context is it's a window object, right? So whenever you are running your code on your browser, so when you type in your console.log, right, like you can type window, or you can type this. So this is this is also this keyword is also the global execution context if you are running that on browser. So with the matter of perspectives in the execution context, so that's been differ. But globally, if you write this, so that will be equivalent to your global environment, your global object. Right. So let's that for that example, if you can come over here on the browser, right, and let me. Okay, this is viewable to all. Right. Okay, so here, what's actually the global object, the global execution context? So that's has been, if you write a window here, so if you can see here, so the window is an object, right? So this is a global object for your JavaScript code if you are running those. So whenever your code run in JavaScript, so it's run inside an execution context, right? A wrapper, which is parsing, verifying, and looking into your code while running. So base execution context is the global execution context. Like things are accessible everywhere to everything in your code. So it's kind of a global thing, a global object. So this window is a global object, right? So whatever this window, whatever the code inside this window, like objects, methods, so those will all attached with your global execution context, right? If assume that if this page is being representing my file, which is app.js, so that app.js will be inside that app.js. I have three variables, A, B, C, and I have three methods: method 1, method 2, and method 3. So after writing those, when I will be taking a look on this global object like window or this, so if you can type this, so you can see both of the outputs are same. Why? Because I am executing this keyword on the global level. So that's what actually it's equal to window object, right? So it's a global execution context, this keyword on the global level, right? So now if you can open that, so you can see only the methods which are provided by, which are related to the browser. So you can see inner height or width or kind of click events, all kind of things, but not the methods which are created by you. So why? So the answer is, if you can see here in the code base, so I haven't created any variable here, right? And no methods are being created here. I've created a simple index.html file, and I have attached that app.js with my index.html. And with this JavaScript file, I didn't created variables and I didn't created methods. So that's the answer. I don't have those methods and variables attached with my global execution context, right? So it's been wrapped in your that JavaScript engine provides following two things like global execution context, global object, and that this keyword. So it's been a wrapper inside which your JavaScript code runs, right? So execution context, as I told, that contains all of the other things you didn't write. It's a wrapper, right? So JavaScript engine, which is running your code, is doing this for you. So let's understand these concepts as I talked with. If you can write window, so you can see the window object here, and if you can type this on the global level, so you can also see your global object. So that's kind of the global execution context, right? So now taking a look on like how the global execution or the global object window object will contain our variables and methods, right? So let's go into the code base. So here, let me open that code. Okay, so here, if I'm writing, assume that if I'm writing a variable, so var name equal to my name, right? So if I'm saving this file and going on the browser, so if I can refresh this one, so now if I'm writing this this keyword on the global execution, so you can see here the name is being created, right? Name Mohammad Abbas. So this is a variable. So if I can search the name key here, this one, right? So here in the frames inside that we have a name created. With Mohammad Abbas, right? So this is how the global execution context works. So, let me take a look on it. Okay. But you can check it out that like this is a variable which I have been created here. So now if I'm renaming this name with this one, maybe it will come in a better format. Okay, so let's type this now. Okay, so this name again is come with. Okay, so it's being created. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so in the code base here, app.js. So if I am writing this window object again, so it's been a name with Mohammad Abbas is been coming. So if you can see here, I have been created a variable here with the a. Let me open that. Okay, this one. So var a. I have been created a variable with the name of a with my name. So if you can see, it's been attached with my global object here. Right, so this is what, like that window, that app.js will contain this one. So this is how, that means above code is at global level, not inside any function. So in JavaScript, when you create variables and functions, which are at the global level, so those will be attached with your global object. So as window is your global object, so it's been attached here. Right, so we can also taking a look, like if you can type your if you can type here, okay, let's create a method first. Okay, here, So assume that I am creating a function. So that function, so we have to do something here. So let's log and I'm say b is call, right? Right, so I have created this function. So let's see how now this function and this variable, these both are on the global level. Those two are not inside any function or inside any lexical environment. So let's see in the browser how it's been reflecting now on the global level, right? So if I'm typing here window and I'm opening that one, so you can see this b. This b is a function, right? So this b is a function. It's been attached to your global object, and also this a, which is a variable which I have been created in my app.js file. So both of them are being attached with your global objects. So that means the code which doesn't lay inside your lexical environment, so those will be attached with your global execution context, a global object. That means a global environment, we can say. Right, so now from the console, so because app.js has been included with this page, so you can also get your you can also type the variable name and you can get those values also. And as I said, the variables and the methods which are being lying over your global level, so those are also in your attached with your global object, right? So if you access variable directly, so from your global object you can access that, like this one, as I typed a, like I didn't pass any of object deep chaining like window.object or kind of thing. So this is a global object. It represents that I'm a global object. That's what you guys can getting a value directly from your console. Right, so now, as I said, the statement, like on the global level, the things, variables and functions will be attached on your global object. So then let's check, like it's true or false. Like if I'm typing window.a, so you can also get the same value. So this is how you can say, like window.a, window is what? Window is a global object. So a is attached with your global object, right? So you can also access your method as well, window.b, right? So you can see the output b is called. B is called why? We have did the console thing so that we can take the value out here in the terminal. So I have been used console.log, which is being b is called. So that's what, if I'm executing the window.b directly from my global object, so it's been returning this response. On other way, if I'm been calling this b directly globally, so that's also been with the same output. So that means the things which are being created over your global level, like the variable and a function, which I have been created, as you can see here, var a and function b. So those are on the global thing. So both of them are being directly, we can calling their values, and we are initiating the methods directly from your console. So this is the main concept for global execution context. This is a global execution. Whenever your JavaScript code runs, so on the first level, global execution context will be created, and the global execution context will contain all of the things that are being lying in your JavaScript file globally, not lexically inside any other functions. So this is the global execution context. Right, so, yep. Okay. Thank you guys for watching this, and wait for my another video for creation and hosting. So I will be moving those towards another video. Thank you.